Let's get ready for next week. We're going to let today simmer as Apple's got the market on its shoulders. Mr. Rick Ducat here with me, and KG, Kevin Green, is on the line. Palantir, I think, the most fun one as the tech trade and cybersecurity business maybe of choice. KG, how high is the bar for them?
I think the bar is actually fairly high, and that's because of their performance that they had last quarter. They really did shock the street when it came to the commercial side of their business, which is something that they've been really trying to grow over the last couple of quarters because it's a little bit less cyclical than we would see from the government contracts, where it could be a situation where budgets could take a long time for them to be able to get approved, and we could have some fits and starts when it comes to that type of funding. The market is actually looking for revenue to come in at $614.88 million, and the adjusted earnings per share estimate right now is sitting at a positive 8 cents for the quarter. Once again, the commercial side of their business continues to grow at a very rapid pace, and I think that's really where the green shoots are going to be for this quarter. And if they can continue to see these positive growth rates of 70% on a year-over-year basis for their commercial side, that would probably give a little bit more steam for the bulls here in this market. Now, that's not to say to neglect the government contracts. That is also something that could come due and actually see a little bit of tailwinds as we go into an election season. But I think once again, when you're looking at the core items of their business, the artificial intelligence platform, which has been the key driver for growth here, there has been a fair amount of demand. I think the market continues to be very optimistic by it, and their positive growth when it comes to adjusted earnings per share also puts them as a target for potential inclusion into certain indexes, which could also be a tailwind for positive investing flows.
Certain indexes like the S&P 500, perhaps, a big one.
Correct.
Always be a nice little pop. All right, chart-wise, Rick, we slowed down a little bit after a couple big moves here, but not too much. And it kind of looks like there's some signs of momentum accelerating again.
Yeah, and we had a nice gap up after our last earnings event. We never quite filled the gap or even touched on the post-gap lows. You can see we've got a good space between those areas in our last downswing here. Now we're down about 15% from our yearly highs near 27.50. And, you know, the price action looked to me like we had a little bit of a head and shoulders type pattern. This is a pattern I've been seeing a lot lately here. And you can see we've got our shoulder, our head, our shoulder, and then our neckline. And then we did have a bit of a drop downward after that, but we recovered. We're back above the neckline today, though. Now that's a supportive area to keep an eye on near 23. That lines up pretty cleanly with our even price level there. So you can see that there was a volume node in between, you know, the neckline and our shoulder areas here between like 23 and 25.50. So some heavy trading in this area to consider here. And you're right, Oliver, momentum is improving here. We had a downward trend on RSI, our measure of momentum, that's been broken. We managed to stay out of the oversold area as well. Now we are back above the 50 midline here. Couple that with a break above some resistance in the form of our neckline, and that's a more bullish scenario here. We're above our moving averages. They're trending upward, you know, so things are looking a little bit more encouraging for the bulls here. If we were to keep moving to the upside, 25.50, the level of our shoulders, the point where we topped out there a couple times, that would be one area to watch here. Like I said, 23 is a mark to hold. Then our moving average cluster here near 22.30.
All right, so Palantir's kind of packed in a little bit above 20 bucks, and nice to see that the head and shoulders didn't turn into a total decapitation. You know, we just kind of slipped a little bit and came back, because that could be a very bearish chart. So it speaks, I think, to the strength of Palantir. By the way, there are Palantir bulls that are as determined and committed as any other stock out there. Sure. And sometimes it kind of gets looped in almost into the meme conversation. It's not. I mean, they give billion-dollar contracts with the U.S. government. But from that perspective of like people being committed to this thing, I know some of them personally. Like the people love this stock. So it takes a lot to break it. But okay.